Although I'm here in Westminster, I'm not here to talk politics so much as how do we pattern interrupt this shit show, the false matrix, and return the power to the people? How do we break big corporate grip over our National Health Service and educate people about natural health and healing, which is completely free? Howdy, folks. So, I'm here in London and just en route from Chelsea to Bermondsey, and I thought I would stop off at Westminster and do a quick video. So last night I was at the Philly J. Lay event where she hosted Barbara O'Neill, who you may know is the incredible Australian naturopath who teaches about natural healing and remedies. And the interesting thing about Barbara O'Neill is that she has been banned from all mainstream media because she speaks truth to Big Pharma. So it was so fascinating to go to Earl's Court last night, to the Abyss, and to witness her incredible lecture about the most simple, basic remedies, ways that we can stay healthy and heal ourselves without even having to go near Big Pharma. And big hats off to Philly J. Lay, for that was the first event that she'd ever put on. And I know some of the challenges that she went through to land that venue. It was an incredible full house. There were hundreds of people there and an absolutely brilliant evening. So I made the pilgrimage to London to go and watch it. And so today, en route, I wanted to do some filming. I'm hoping to interview Piers Corbyn, who's standing for Bermondsey and Old Southwark, hopefully, if I can squeeze myself into his schedule. And I was on the tube and I was thinking, I need to get off at Westminster and do a piece to camera. This building, ladies and gentlemen, it's like a Masonic amplification chamber which locks down power. Now, a few years ago, after a visit here, I actually did a talk for a charity event here. And afterwards we had a tour, and because I'm trained in feng shui and I understand about metaphysics and symbolism, I did a video called Time and Space, which is all about how this building locks down power. I'll put the link below if you want to watch the whole video where I go through it in detail with all of the floor plans. So this building was built on the site of the original Palace of Westminster, which I believe was created by Henry VIII. And this new iteration was built 18th, 19th century, and it's absolutely embedded with symbolism. And if you look at the floor plan of the Houses of Parliament, it's exactly aligned to north, south, east, west. So essentially it's a temple. It's built like a church, very Masonic. If you look at all the Egyptian temples and all of the Masonic buildings, they are all aligned to those compass points, the north, south, east, west compass points, which are aligned to the solstices and the equinoxes. So you've got the winter solstices at the north, the summer solstice is exactly at the south, that's where the sun is. And you've got the equinoxes in the east and the west, the spring and the autumn. So there's a tremendous amount of power to align a building to the compass point. And then if you look at the floor plan, at the very heart of this building is the central lobby, which is an octagon. And again, it's aligned to these compass points, but also with the addition of the quarter points, which are northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, and they align to Imbolc, Beltane, Lammas, and Samhain on the pagan calendar. So those quarter points are very powerful. And when I was living out at Lathkildale, I lived in the old riverkeeper's cottage on the Haddon estate, which was built in 1652. It was built in a dragon year. Interestingly, that house was built on the exact quarter points because it was aligned to nature. So it's very interesting, this symbolism, and I'm going to share with you something that happened in 2019, because I did this charity event and I was given a tour, and one of the interesting things was I noticed that they were doing a renovation, and as part of the renovation they had taken the floor up in the central lobby. So where there was normally a marble floor, there was actually just a circle of carpet with some red rope going round it. So they'd taken up the floor to renovate it. I looked at the photos of what did this floor look like. and it's actually an 8-pointed star, like a compass point. At the center of the building, you have the Tai Chi. So it's like a torus field, like you think of a tornado or an apple. All of these things are torus fields. And at the center, you have the Tai Chi, the center, which is the still point, which in the human body is the spine and the chakras. So that's why they say spine straight. And you have the crown chakra where the energy is coming out, and the base chakra where the energy is coming round. So the whole of the torus field is like an infinity symbol, like a 3D infinity symbol, with that center point of stillness at the heart of it. And the Tai Chi is all powerful for that reason, because when you come back to the center, or when you go to the center of a building and you do something, you make a change to the center, that has tremendous power to create a ripple effect of energy. So it's a bit like imagining a still lake. You throw a tiny pebble into a still lake, and you notice that these waves of energy flow out. So when you still the lake, still the mind, drop from mind, calm mind, drop into the heart, open the heart, get into that 0 point place, and then with your third eye, place an intention into that energy, and it's like putting a pebble into a lake, and you can see the ripples flooding out. So the torus field of a building, the Tai Chi of your home, the Tai Chi of a building, which is the center of the torus field, is super powerful. You might call it an engine, a metaphysical engine, this marble 8-pointed compass holding down the 3D realm, all of these directions, 3D time, space, reality. And so what I did, and this was in a very deep shamanic journey, I envisioned a golden flower of life grid, and I energetically placed it in this circle that was left empty at the heart of the Houses of Parliament. And then, of course, they came back and they relayed the marble central floor. So underneath that 8-pointed compass is a golden flower of life grid. Now, the flower of life is the 6-pointed star. And the 6-pointed star is Christ consciousness. If you look at the yantra of the heart, it's a 6-pointed star. We'll kind of avoid any kind of looking at the Israel flag at this point, because the truth of the 6-pointed star, essentially it's heaven and earth. And it's the symbol essentially of the Merkaba, which if you put into a 3D form, if you've ever seen a Merkaba, essentially you've got a downward pointing pyramid and an upward pointing pyramid. And so the two work together. So basically they represent heaven and earth. So heaven intersecting with earth, that is the symbolism of the 6-pointed star. And it is about the connection between the crown chakra coming down to the heart and the base chakra coming up from the earth meet at the heart. So you've got 7 chakras: base chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus. Then you've got the heart. And then you've got the crown chakra, the third eye, the throat chakra, and the heart. So you've got 3 above and 3 below. As above, so below. Where they meet is at the heart. And so the heart is the intersection between the connection, the axis mundi, connection to all that is and to the earth. So heaven and earth, the father sky and mother earth. So that vertical connection. And then you've got the horizontal connection, which is essentially, this is the symbol of the cross. This is the symbolism of the cross. In truth, at the heart of the cross is the heart. So big clues in this religious symbolism. So the 6-pointed star is symbolic of Christ consciousness. It's symbolic of creating heaven on earth. So it's super powerful to replace the 8-pointed star, which is the time-space reality compass, which ties everything into the 3D realm, which locks down the false matrix of this reality. And it allows us to connect. The 6-pointed star is the flower of life. You see it in nature everywhere. So when we get out into nature and we reconnect with nature, we are connecting with sacred geometry. We're connecting with the golden ratio. We're connecting with the flower of life. So we are pattern interrupting this attachment to the 3D realm, and we are connecting with a higher power. And it was so interesting, just to complete on this, at Barbara O'Neill's event last night, she was talking so much about how our current health service, it's actually a sickness service, a national sickness service, not a national health service, because it's all designed around protocols and big pharma, and it's based on fear. Whereas natural healing is based on faith and the realization that our bodies are designed and set up to heal. And so essentially, illness is our body's language. It's our body's way of communicating with us to say there's something out of kilter. You need to pay attention. So if you've got a pain or you've got some inflammation or swelling where it is in the body, it's good to sit with it. Like, what are you trying to communicate with me? Where am I out of kilter? Where do I need to make some adjustments? Where do I need to change my lifestyle or change my diet? And so Barbara was talking last night about just really simple things. Firstly, water, the importance of water and good hydration, the importance of nutrition, the importance of the breath and inhaling through the nose. That was a really interesting one, because if you breathe through the mouth, you don't get the same exchange of oxygen into the bloodstream as you do through the nose to get the maximum amount of the oxygen connecting into your blood cells. And blood is the life force of the body, so good circulation is really, really important. Exercise is really important. Getting back into nature is really important. Anyway, I'm sure that that live stream from last night, I'm sure Philly is going to put that live. I urge you to watch the Barbara O'Neill event. Absolutely brilliant. It was maybe about 2.5 hours long, and we were just riveted, and it was just a full audience. Everyone there were kind of therapists and naturopaths and holistic people. Great energy, probably about 90% women, 10% men. It was really incredible. Although I'm here in Westminster, I'm not here to talk politics so much as how do we pattern interrupt this shit show, the false matrix, and return the power to the people? How do we break big corporate grip over our National Health Service and educate people about natural health and healing, which is completely free? And of course, this is never going to come through by the big government, big corporate forces which underpin the current system, because it's all geared to maximizing profits. It's all geared to enhancing new sectors, new market sectors. I mean, if you want to just check this out, go to the World Economic Forum website, check it out. What are the big markets of the future? Well, you've got AI, you've got electric vehicles, you've got digital surveillance and control. You only have to look at these big new markets to realize how the policies that come out of this building are underpinning big corporations to drive new sectors and maximum profits for the big corporate backers who underpin the system. And that is why it's so difficult as an independent. I'm standing as an independent candidate for Derbyshire Dales. For us independents, the people, to challenge the systems, because the Labour Party and the Conservative Party are both cheeks of the same arse. They're both fully aligned to the World Economic Forum. All of the media is owned by these big corporations, so they're either pumping out red or blue, red or blue, red or blue. There's no coverage whatsoever of independence or choices which are outside of that. And even if you look at Lib Dems and Greens, they're all aligned to these big corporate agendas like Agenda 2030, like net zero, like the climate emergency, for which there's no scientific evidence. There's no hard evidence of this. I mean, it's really interesting that I made an observation that, there's this big talk about clean air zones. Oh, we've got to clean the air. There's too much pollution. We need to remove diesel vehicles off the roads and switch to electric. And yet, all the while, we've got chemtrails and geoengineering spraying shit into the skies. It's like insane. So I'm standing to pattern interrupt, and who knows, I may well get elected, in which case I will be inside that building and pattern interrupting. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.